YouTube Nation, Manfred TV, aka Me TV, aka if you're going to cross abroad, then you better walk this way if you get what I'm saying. But before I get started, we have to talk, all right? We have to have a serious talk. And I want to say congratulations to the Philadelphia Flyers real quick. I understand it was a great game yesterday. I know people are still flying high off of the Flyers, okay? I understand that. But we have some serious talk to get into. And as I put on Twitter not too long ago, and I'm very upset, I mean, to see the things that are happening here in Philadelphia, I mean, for those who don't know, all right, because this is getting out of hand. This is all sports related, okay? Understand, guys, earlier this week, 2 firefighters lost their lives, okay, in a battling a fire in Kensington, all right? Now, also understand that the people of Kensington have been bugging the city about this problem for 6 months now, okay? They've been talking about this warehouse that just recently went up, that it was going to be a problem, it was a hazard, it's going to cause problems. You have to do something about it. The city sent out LNI, and what did LNI do best? Oh, we'll just give them a citation. That's what they did. Next month, oh, we'll give them another citation. And a month after that, we'll give them another citation. That's what they do because they're building up the dollars. That's all they want to do. The city is about money. For those who don't know, if you've never seen Parking Wars, it's the same thing. Oh, we'll just give them a ticket. And if they want to fight, they'll have to go down there and waste their time. People will end up what they do, giving in and paying a ticket, even if they didn't do anything. But that's not the point, all right? That's what LNI does best. Now, people from the hood, understand, y'all going to understand what I'm talking about right now, all right? When LNI comes to your place, and there is not your place, but in your neighborhood, all right, and there's an abandoned building, what do? They board it up, they slap the zoning thing on it in the citation, right? And that's it, and they leave it be, knowing that crackheads can still get into those buildings and light it up and do whatever they want. Am I right? And they never come back out to reboard it up unless it's serious, all right? So, or something causes a fire. Now, I have to talk about this for a minute, because if you notice, every fire that happens in Philadelphia or even in any city, if it's not arson, what happens? It's usually down where? In the hood. Why? Because those houses have faulty wiring and the people that live in them cannot afford all that wiring throughout the whole house. So the people who really do own it, if you're not a homeowner, all right, they're held accountable, but LNI only citates them. So the owner is still negligent, right? That's what they're saying with this warehouse. They're negligent. So what happens? Place goes up. People have to be evacuated from their homes, all right? 2 firefighters lose their lives battling the blaze, and then the mayor comes out. Now, this is where I have a problem, all right? Mayor gets on camera and talks about, oh, the firefighters, it's sad that they died, and their families are affected, and we feel bad for them. And I'm calling BS on this, all right? Because the mayor just not too long ago, if it wasn't for the mayor, all right, those firefighters, they wouldn't have been undermanned because he cut the funding for the firefighters. All right? So I'm not trying to hear all of a sudden he feels bad. He cut the funding so that he can have money to build his little monuments and all his little stuff in front of City Hall. Oh, we're going to put an ice rink in front of City Hall and make it look like Rockefeller Center. That's what he was doing. This is where the money is going in the city, all right? To make, cosmetic changes, all right, to City Hall. That's where all the money's going. But no one wants to talk about that. So people can die in fires and do their job and carry on. You cut the funding, but all of a sudden you want to act like you're a sympathetic figure. You're not. You know what you did. You should be held responsible. You're partially responsible for their deaths as far as I'm concerned, because they were undermanned when they went in there. That's how I feel. Now, I want to talk about this. Why is it sports related? Because of the fact that now they're talking about having a tournament. I think it's a basketball tournament. They're not sure just yet, but having a sports tournament to raise money and funding for, the firefighters' families and things of that nature. I will look more into it, and if so, I'm definitely going to compete. I'm definitely good for that. I mean, it's just, guys, it's getting worse. And if I do compete, I'll definitely put it on camera so you guys can start seeing these type of things. Someone's got to be held responsible, man. Somebody. But there's more news. There's more news, all right? For those who don't know, the Philadelphia Inquirer, which is, as you all know, is a big sports newspaper. Also, the Daily News and things of that nature. They all run the same business. It's a chain company, okay? Now, we'll put it like this. The Philadelphia Inquirer is a legendary paper here, but it is a suck-ass paper, all right? This is where you had your writers like Stephen A. Smith, talk all the time and run their mouth. And it's a horrible publication. It really is, all right? And I don't have a problem with it, going downhill. But here's the problem with it. What they're thinking about doing is turning the Philadelphia Inquirer into another casino. We do not need any more casinos here. What is wrong with you? I don't understand this. I mean, seriously, now, for those who know what the Philadelphia Inquirer is, if you go up Market Street, it's on North Broad, which means when you go near City Hall, you got to go around the loop, and then where JFK is, you have to make a right. If you look on North Broad, now usually when I do the videos and I'm on Broad Street, I do them on South Broad. That's where you see the Avenue of the Arts and all the lights and carrying on. So on North Broad, you have pretty much churches, a lot of hip-hop shops, actually, so like City Blue and things of that nature. And, you know, and they're going to put a casino right there. Don't you understand the last casino that you put up, which was the Sugar House down on Delaware Ave, people protested because it hurt their neighborhood. They were so mad at the casino going up, they were jumping over gates to cut the oil lines while they were doing construction. They don't want it there, but the mayor didn't care. He said, you're going to take it, you're going to like it. Now you're getting ready to do the same thing. How many casinos do you need? And people like to say that they create jobs, but it's creating more problems. It is within the community. And you have to understand, I'm so frustrated. What am I, 5 minutes, man, 5 something? Look, I'm frustrated, okay? Because nobody's fighting. Nobody's fighting for this. The mayor doesn't care. He just doesn't anymore. And it's sad to see that. Damn it. But you know what? Let me just, like I said, and for those who don't know, the Sugar House Casino, they do, they do the Phillies post-game show there. And no one cares because nobody likes it at all. All right, especially when you got Mussinelli and John Clark over there. And you got some random woman over there now because she's left for a different news syndication. And nobody cares if you're at the casino. Because it's sponsored by Sugar House Casino, but guess what? No one cares. No one's watching your show. Every time you go to that, when it's that post-game, I turn it off. No one cares. No one likes the setup. Now, all of a sudden, you want to get a desk and some background and make it try to look a little bit more legit. I'm not trying to hear it, man. You should move the post-game show somewhere else. You really should. Because that casino is not getting the job done. All right? And now you want to build another one? Man, whatever. Anyways, I want to move on because we'll talk about the Phillies. I just talked about it since the post-game. Phillies. I want to say congratulations to the Phillies last night because they actually put up some runs. Yes, they put up some runs. So yeah, you know, no wonder it rained. I mean, but look, you have to understand, guys, that the Phillies, they're going to be a bad team for a while. And you're saying bad? Yes, I'm saying it. They're going to be a bad, if not mediocre team for a while due to the fact that Utley and Howard are out. And then even when they come back, it's going to take a while for them to get into the swing of things. You have to understand that. All right? So, no, it's not just, oh, he's back, and he's just going to start hitting, Howard's going to start hitting home runs out of nowhere, or Utley's going to be this ultimate Superman in fielding. No, it doesn't work that way. All right? They have to ease back into it. They have to get back into the rhythm. The Phillies have to be held accountable. Every player on the Phillies have to be held accountable at this point. They do. That's all I would say on that point. They really do. But I want to say I did go to opening day, and we lost to the Miami Marlins. Yeah, I know. The Miami Marlins. I know. But before I show you the footage on how things went on opening day, I want to show you exactly what happened last year when I went to the Phillies opening day and what they actually did for us fans.
Say hello to right-hander Kyle Kendrick. We're going to be able to open it up for questions. If you guys have questions first, Kyle, I'll just, hi, how you doing? A little change in the weather from where you guys were at the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's nice to be over though.
Can you guys hear? That's a little low. All right, we're going to try to make this so you can turn it up a little bit louder. How do you think the spring went?
It was nice. Weather was great. Got my work in. For the most part, we were healthy. Gonna miss some key guys for a little bit, but I'm excited about our chances.
I guess your habits, what you do as far as from rotation going to the bullpen, will that change a lot for you?
I don't think so. Just my routine, a little bit lifting with my lifting. Once you get on the mound, pitching. So just my lifting, lift after a game. Pitch out of the bullpen and be ready to pitch every day.
Now this year, we were supposed to have a lot of festivities before the game. DJ Jazzy Jeff was supposed to be there on turntables. We were supposed to have paratroopers coming down and parachuting from out of the sky into the stadium. I mean, but because the weather was so bad, it was like 40-mile-an-hour winds, they had to stop. They stopped everything. So all we got was, the troops coming out, and which was fine. People clapped, and the airplanes flying over. So let's see exactly what opening day looked like. That was the best part of the game. I'm just saying, because we got our asses handed to us by the Miami Marlins. And speaking of them, I got to talk about them because you guys have sent me so much mail and so many messages about what do I feel about Ozzie Guillen, what he said about Fidel Castro. It's completely wrong. Absolutely wrong. For those who know, and let's say even my friends that are Cuban are pissed off at it. You have to understand, even if you watch ESPN, I understand there's some people out there saying, oh, well, what Ozzie Guillen said, it wasn't that bad. Are you serious? You have to understand why this is a bad thing, all right? Because like I said, even on ESPN, they were interviewing Cubans who defected from Cuba, talking about how their families were executed from his regime because they wanted to come to America and things that, no, you have to understand this is bigger than just, oh, it's just a couple comments. It's bigger than that. And if, I would say the Florida Marlins. The Miami Marlins said that, they suspended him, but everyone deserves a second chance. Obviously, they don't know Ozzie Guillen's track record. This is like his 8th chance, all right? He is known for saying things that he shouldn't say. Last time they made a big deal about him was when he talked about the homosexual community. And, and he went off on that. So it's... Ozzie Guillen doesn't know when to shut up. And he says that this is his worst thing he's ever said. And if he doesn't learn from it, that you can call him stupid. Look. You should have learned by now, after all the things that have happened, to keep your mouth shut. If you don't know what to say, I don't understand these people who get into these situations. Seriously, if you are not comfortable talking about a situation with an interviewer, no comment. Or, I don't want to talk about it. It's not that hard. It's really not. I don't understand this, all right? And they always fall back. Oh, I was misquoted. Oh, I don't want to hear it. If you don't want to talk about it, don't say anything. If you feel as though you've been in this league long enough, and this goes for any athlete or coach or whatever, all right? You've been in the business long enough. You know when somebody is baiting you. You know this. And I'm talking about this later, all right? You know when someone's baiting you in a question with a reporter, don't give them the satisfaction. Don't. But whatever. As far as I'm concerned. Ozzie Guillen, as far as I'm concerned, because those people, if you watch ESPN when they're interviewing those people who are protesting, they don't want him back at all. And it's, this is the sad part. ESPN is like, it's going to take a long time for these people to forgive Ozzie Guillen. No, these people are saying they don't want him here at all. He will not be forgiven. Given the history of what they went through, they don't care about his role. See, and this is what I mean about sports in real life, all right? They're looking from a real life perspective and all the hardships they went through just to get here. All right, and ESPN is talking about they'll forgive him because, it'll blow over. They're pretty much saying that people have short-term memory. That's what they're pretty much saying. And it's sad that they would even think of even saying that on camera. All right, and that really disgusts me. It really does. But that's just how, I guess, the business works these days. Exactly. I cannot understand how someone can say such erroneous things and still keep their job. I don't know, 5 games. Ooh, 5 games. That's nothing. The guy should be gone, period. And Bud Selig, this hypocrite Bud Selig, comes out and says it was right for them to suspend Ozzie Guillen. I'm all for it. You can't say things like that. And, and there's no room for that in our sport. So let me get this straight. You can go after Ozzie Guillen and say that there's no room for that in our sport. But when Jim Crane came out and talked about black folks, all right, and said what he said, degrading them, you didn't say, and this was, a couple weeks after the Civil Rights weekend, you didn't say anything. Yeah, I don't want to hear your sport. I don't want to hear this, all right? Bud Selig, you're a hypocrite as far as I'm concerned. But I want to talk a little bit more about baseball. We got Phillies Mets coming up, and I'll put it like this. The Mets have some hot bats. The Mets can play right now. Now, we know how this usually goes with the Mets. I know New York is going to jump on me for it, but whatever, all right? We know how the Mets are right now. They start out red hot, and then they teeter off. It just goes straight down. We know how this goes, all right, Mets? Don't get cocky. And I'll put it like this. I'm looking for the Phillies to take at least 2 out of 3 from you guys this weekend. Should be a great weekend. I will be watching on top of the Flyers and Penguins on Friday, and I'm going to the game Sunday. It's going to be great. All right, it's going to be a great sports weekend. Now, I need to move on because we have to talk about the Philadelphia 76ers and their damn unprofessionalism. For those who don't know, all right, and I have the video for you guys. All right, you guys had put me on to this yesterday, so I had to do some digging. All right, Doug Collins and his assistant coach told Spencer Hawes, because he was having a bad practice or whatever, told him to go act like a child in his hotel room and go and destroy it. That's right. And don't worry, it's on us. That's what he says. Don't believe me? Let's look at the video right now.
Did you get a sense, like, sometimes when you replace a guy in the starting lineup, you can kind of pout about it. And Spencer obviously took it the right way.
Spencer was not happy at shoot around, but Jeff Capel is the best. Jeff Capel's the best. He told Spencer, he said, go back to your room and, act like a little child. tear up your room, give me the bill, and then be ready to play tonight. So Spencer texted him. He said, just went back to the room, trashed my room, busted up my TV, charged the room to you, but I'm ready to roll. So we're good. That's the stuff that these coaches bring.
So that's what it takes these days to get players to play basketball? So it's not being in the NBA. The NBA is not enough motivation. Being paid to play basketball isn't enough motivation. But you need to go and destroy a hotel room to make yourself feel better. And the thing is, the coaches are instructing him to do so. So Spencer Hawes, let me ask you this. If your coach asks you to go shoot up crack, would you go do it? Use some damn common sense. You have to be kidding me. You knew it was wrong. And I'm not trying to hear, well, they got the money. And no, that's elitist garbage, all right, as far as I'm concerned. You guys are almost out of the playoffs. And this is what you're pulling. This is what you're pulling. You got to be kidding me. As far as I'm concerned, Doug Collins should be gone. Gone. I'm done with him at this point, all right? And that team can be blown up. I don't care, all right? Don't sit here and tell me, anyone who's trying to justify this, all right, you can kiss my ass as far as I'm concerned. It's great to see, you know what? It's great to see that the Sixers have money to blow on destroying hotel rooms, but you can't go out there and get pieces to win a damn game. It's a joke. You've got to be kidding me. Philly, what is going on? These guys are acting like rock stars, and I'm not even happy when rock stars do it, all right? But you got to be kidding me, all right? This is going way too far as far as I'm concerned. And I'll put it like this. Management knows about this, and management isn't doing a damn thing about this. And I'm talking about shareholders as well, because it makes them look bad. And I'm talking about that stupid CEO, the majority owner, down to the least, majority owner, and that's Will Smith. Yeah, all of you look bad right now. You need to make some moves, because now that this is out, you're in trouble. And I also have a problem with Doug Collins because every time we lose a game, we're almost on the brink of elimination. We're in 7th now because, the Knicks had to play the Bucks, so someone had to lose, all right? But we're in 7th now. You understand that this makes us look bad when your coach is always laughing and smiling when we're getting blown out in games, all right? If Philadelphia fans had a problem with McNabb doing it, why don't you have a problem with Doug Collins doing it? That's what I want to know. I'm not trying to hear it. It's time for him to go. You don't sit there and tell a player to go smash up a room. No regard for anyone else's job or anything. You know how long it's going to take to clean that up? You got to be smashed the TV. No. You got to blow off steam. You go to the gym, man, or something. You go do something else. You don't go and wreck a room. What's wrong with you? You should know common sense, man. And I know there's going to be people who try to defend this. I know there is. All right? Because there's stupid people out there in the world. But you have to be kidding me. Anyways, I want to move on, guys. Got to talk NHL playoffs. Like I said, Flyers, Penguins, Cindy Crosby. Yeah, Cindy Crosby. You need to change your tampon. I'm tired of seeing this dude flop, and everyone saw it last night, all right? He's holding Yager. Yager's like this. I'm not holding him. And Crosby's holding him. He's like, oh, he's hurting me. He's flopping. He did it with Grossman. He was hugging Grossman. Grossman's like, I'm not touching you. He's bad. He's skating backwards. I'm not touching you. And he's holding him. And what Grossman do? Punch him in the face. That's what he deserves, all right? You have to understand that Cindy Crosby, whatever you want to call him, he's a crybaby, and he flops to win. There are no shortcuts in winning. The Penguins should have won last night with no question. This also reminded me of the Boston Bruins game a long time ago, the playoffs, when they were up 3 goals in the first period and didn't do anything. The Flyers came back. That's what this was, all right? It was the Penguins' game to win, and they blew it in their own stadium. Now we're, 6-1? It's all year against them? And you know what? Penguins fans have every right to be upset with the way their team played. They started out red hot. Brizgalov, oh my God. I told y'all this was going to happen, all right? He settled down. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people were saying on Twitter to me, he settled down, he buckled down. He only took 25 shots last night on goal. 25. That's really low, especially for a playoff game. So you need to credit the defense. You really do. Danny Briere, Mr. Playoff, as usual. I said a couple weeks ago, he will show up for the playoffs. And damned if he didn't. All right? That's what he does. Shen looked great out there. Hartnell play. I mean, all these guys played. It took a while for him to get the play. All right? It took a while for him to play. It really did. That first period was horrible. It was hard. It was painful to watch, all right? Because the offense, they weren't setting up anything. They were playing, ever since we have played the Chicago Blackhawks in the Stanley Cup, our team has pretty much molded their play style. Seriously, in the first period, what do we see? 1-on-5. You got to be kidding me. It didn't make no sense to me. There was no setup. You have to play Flyers hockey. And what did I say? Crash the net, get into the slot, score goals, disrupt the defense. That's what you have to do, all right? And it just looked bad. That's what's like, what is this offense they're playing in the first period? It didn't make no sense to me. Not at all. All right, Laviolette had to call timeout, and like I said, you can tell, you knew in those intermissions he was going off on them. You knew. I would love to see a camera view of what was going on in that locker. How many F-bombs he was dropping. I'm just saying. But the Flyers came back to win. Friday, I will be watching. Guys, this will be a great series. We already took home ice advantage away. Like I said, it didn't matter anyway because we were already killing them in their own stadium. But we took away home ice advantage because they did have a mental, edge, when they beat us, was it last week? But it doesn't matter, all right? They're going to look to bounce back. I'll put it like this. If the Flyers go up, and I said this to you guys in the comments, I'm looking for the Flyers to win this in 6. I said that. We'll see what happens. But I'm really hoping, especially if we win Game 2, all right, in Pittsburgh, you can't call game over. It's over, all right? Pittsburgh Penguins are not going to bounce back from that unless they get a lot of help from the refs. We saw that last night too, all right? No way can you call boarding on Giroux when they sat there and did what they did to Grossman and it wasn't called. No way. All right, it's ridiculous. Like I said, you have to watch the referees at this point. You really do. And I was a little disappointed in the overtime, too, because for the first 2 minutes, everyone, no matter who touched the puck on what side of the team, everyone was offsides. I didn't understand that. But it doesn't matter. I don't care. It was a good game. Referees really need to clean up a little bit more. If you're going to let them play physical, then let them play physical. You can't call these ticky-tack things every once in a while. Be consistent. I'm just saying. And to be quite honest, guys, I did not see all of the Kings Vancouver Canucks game. I didn't. I actually fell asleep on it. But understand, guys, that what I did watch, Quick, the first goal against the Kings was a screw job, all right? Quick was knocked down by a Canuck. He was, all right? That's interference in the goalie, and then they scored. You can't do that when he's trying to get up. You cannot do that. But last I checked, the Kings were coming back. They were getting a lot of power plays. Mike Richards made Luongo look really bad on the inside pad shot, but I don't know how the game ended. I really don't. But that's just let you know. Now, also, I need to talk about boxing real quick. There is talk about Manny Pacquiao. That's right. Manny Pacquiao is now being accused of tax evasion, harboring a fugitive. There's all these problems with Manny Pacquiao all of a sudden. And I said before, and a lot of you guys, you're messaging me out in the old video saying this could be a problem. And I said about Bob Arum, and I said there's something wrong financially. What's going on with his camp? And now now you guys are saying, maybe this is the issue. And Manny Pacquiao has come out and said they're just pretty much trying to single him out since he's a political person. Look, I really hope that this is not true. Manny Pacquiao seems to be a genuinely nice guy. He does. I mean, watching, was it the Bruce Lee documentary? They talked to Manny Pacquiao. He was saying the reason why his haircut is the way it is because of Bruce Lee. He wants to mold his life after Bruce Lee, and he wants to learn, and you know what I mean? He just seems like a generally good guy. I really hope this is not the case for Manny Pacquiao, because they're talking about jail time if so. But we'll see what happens. I hope, I wish Manny the best. I really do. This is outside of boxing. He seems like he's really doing a really good job for his village. His country. He's a government official now. You have to understand that. So there's bigger things involved for Manny Pacquiao. I just hope that everything goes well for him. Now, we need to talk about this just a little bit more. Not Manny Pacquiao, but I said I'd go back to it. We got to talk about the scapegoating with the media, all right, and players. For those who don't know, Dwayne Wade has come out and said that he feels that he should be paid to play USA basketball. Now, we've talked about this before, all right? We've talked about this for the previous 2 years. I'm sorry, but NBA players should not be paid to play USA basketball. It is a privilege to play for your country. Not to mention that they're covering all the expenses for you. All right? All you got to do is show up and play. If you don't want to play, I'll take your spot. I would kill to play for USA basketball. Don't sit here and tell me that this is what happens when you have everything already. And then you get comfortable. This is exactly what happens. Now he's trying to say, like I said, the reporter is trying to, twist my words around, and he was baiting me, and you should know this by now. I'm not trying to hear it, Dwayne Wade. I don't believe you. Like I said, ever since LeBron has shown up to Miami, and a lot of you guys said it last night too, ever since he showed up to Miami, your attitude has changed. I don't understand what's going on. I don't care. Get yourself together. Get your head on straight. That's how I feel. Now, speaking of getting your head on straight, I want to talk about this. New Orleans Saints. For those who don't know, New Orleans Saints, when you know about the whole bounty thing, well, now the audio for it has leaked. And the Saints obviously had a severe problem with the San Francisco 49ers. So let's hear exactly what was said in the locker room.
We don't fucking apologize for how we're going to play. You're here for a reason. You're here because we saw in you, and we hope we picked the right person that won't apologize for competing the way we have to compete. There may be better athletes but not defensive football players that have to go into war tomorrow and play the way we fucking play. A mind troubled by doubt cannot focus on victory. NFL's a production business, don't ever forget about it. Where are we at right now? Got a tie at the top. Got a lot of guys up at the top. Kill the hit, the body will die. Kill the hit, the body will die. We've got to do everything in the world to make sure we kill Frank Gore's head. We want him running sideways. We want his head sideways. Little 32, we want to knock the fuck out of him. He has no idea what he's in for. When he's on the sideline, we got to turn that motherfucker over, turn the coaches over, turn the spectators over, go get that motherfucker on the sideline. It's a great game. It's a production business. We hit fucking Smith right there. Remember me. I got the first one. I got the first one. So lay that motherfucker out. We're going to dominate the line of scrimmage, and we're going to kill the fucking head. Every single one of you, before you get off the pile, affect the head. Early, affect the head. Continue, touch and hit the head. They're going to come in. They're going to be shocked with our contact. They're going to be shocked with our speed. They're going to be shocked with our strip. We can kick field goals, be the best defense in that stadium. Remember the walkaways, and remember, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes, we'll get on that bus, right back to that airport, and get ready for the next one. Respect comes from fear. This is how you get respect in this league. We need to find out in the first 2 series of the game, the little wide receiver, number 10, about his concussion. We need to fucking put a lick on him right now. He needs to decide. We need to fucking decide. We need to decide whether Crabtree wants to be a fake-ass prima donna or he wants to be a tough guy. We need to find that out. He becomes human. And fucking take out that outside ACL. We need to decide on how many times we can beat Frank Gore's head. We need to decide how many times we can bull rush and we can fucking put Vernon Davis's ankles over the pile. We need to decide, and when they are fearing us, they give us the ball. Alex Smith in the preseason game, when you guys fucking avalanched that motherfucker, had eyes that big. You all saw him. Another thing we always say in this room is never apologize for the way we compete. If you're in this room, you understand that. We don't apologize.
As far as I'm concerned, Greg Williams should never be able to coach again. He shouldn't even be able to coach a Pee Wee League team. Now, guys, for those who've never played football, all right, I'll admit, when you get into those type of locker rooms and they're trying to hype you up and they're trying to talk to you and things of that nature, you know, words are going to come out. They are, all right? So F-bombs is not a big deal. But when you start talking about targeting people's ACLs, there is a big problem there, all right? And he, in the beginning he said, hit the, take out the head and the body will fall. He's talking about their quarterback, Alex Smith, all right, at that time. But then he starts going on about Frank Gore's head and keep hitting him in the head. You know, that is never instructed, all right, in football camps or in clubs or in locker rooms. I've never, ever heard that type of talk, all right? And people I've talked to who've played, football professionally have never said that, they've never heard anything like that. It's absolutely ridiculous. Now, has this gone on other times? I'm sure it has. I mean, obviously it has. I mean, they said it happened to Redskins, and this guy, we have audio so we can hear what's going on. These players need to be held responsible as well. They have to. It's common sense. I'm not trying to hear it's football, it's kill or be killed. I'm not trying to hear that. All right? There's one point where you have to not take it to that level. All right? There is. I understand everyone's blood, guts, and football, blah, blah, blah. And this is why people have problems with the halftime show and people have problems with the NFL. Oh, the NFL's for kids and things of that nature, and it's a family sport. But you got guys trying to rip their damn heads off. I mean, you can't put it like this. Like he said, it is a production. All right? You cannot balance the two out. You have to use common sense. If you're going to be a monster, you got to be a monster all the way, right? That's how it works. So, I mean, if you're going to be, an actual good football player, then you gotta tread that line. You have to. You cannot cross that line because it makes you look bad. There's none of this, you know, oh, I was just taking orders and think. No. It don't work like that way. All right. I'm not trying to hear, well, if I don't do what coach says, he's going to bench me and I'm going to get my dollars cut. I'm not trying to hear that. All right. Politics in the locker room is played all the time. All right. But it's up to you not to pretty much sell your soul. That's what it comes down to. Now, I know a lot of you guys, I should talk about football a little bit more. I know a lot of you guys really want me to talk about this Bobby Petrino thing. You guys have been sending me messages about it. I will save that for next week because I got a lot to say about Bobby Petrino, all right? But next week, I got to get this gaming stuff off my chest first. Then we'll go back to sports. But you will be getting a sports video next week. I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all be safe. I'm out.